Okay, we are on Wednesday the 24th. We're on upper body. So you will notice that we have overhead swings on Wednesday, regular swings on Thursday, and overhead swings on Friday, okay? So most of you do not do every workout. So I doubt that there's really anybody who's gonna end up doing swings 3 days in a row. But swings is a really good full body workout. So that's the one thing that I do. If I don't feel like doing anything, I keep my kettlebell upstairs and I will sit in front of the TV and aim for like 150, 200 swings. And I will do that multiple days in a row. It's going to give you a full body workout. So it's not a bad thing to do in a row. Like I said, I highly doubt that most people are going to be doing these workouts in this order 3 days in a row. So at the most, probably somebody might have to do them twice. And also, I know a lot of you don't have kettlebells, so the easiest way to do swings and to do them with heavier weight is using a kettlebell. It's much easier to hold than dumbbells. So I don't think most of you have kettlebells. If you do, it's probably a light one. Like when I do mine, I use my 35-pound kettlebell, which I probably could use a 45. I just have not bought one yet because I'm too cheap. So if you have like a 15-pound kettlebell or something like that, you shouldn't really need to worry about it. If you are worried for some reason, then you can just omit it from one of the exercises if you are workouts, if you are happening to do all three, but I doubt it. And if you are, it should still be fine because again, with the dumbbells, it's usually harder to do a heavier weight. So I'm not worried about it. All right, we have 4, 5, or 6 rounds. Overhead swings, palm up and down raises, tricep dips, plank shoulder press, and then part 2 is jump rope. So, overhead swings. So I'm gonna just, I can't, it's upstairs. I was gonna show you guys with my kettlebell since I never show it, but it's upstairs like I just said it was. Okay, so I'll just show you with my dumbbells. Palm up and down raises. So that this is the one where you're flipping in the air. And I usually count it 1, 2, okay? So you don't need to like flip back and forth and get where you started for it to count. You just go up, flip, down, 1, up, flip, down, 2, up, flip, down, 3, okay? Tricep dips, pull my chair in. If you don't have a height, you can do it kind of like crab style, like hold yourself up like a crab and then do it that way. You don't get as much of a range of motion, but you can still feel it. So if you have to do it that way, you can. Plank shoulder press. Okay, that one always kills me. And jump rope. So if you have an actual jump rope, you can do it. If you don't, you're gonna do this. So obviously each jump counts as 1 rep. All right, overhead swings. So as I was saying, it's much easier to hold on to a kettlebell when you're doing these. And if you're using dumbbells, you're most likely gonna have to use a lighter weight. So, and you can hold on to just one. I like at least for the overhead to have 2. So you're gonna do your swing motion, which if you forgot or you happen to not do the workout where we talked about it, is where you're doing the hinge and the thrust. The hinge and the thrust. So the most important things about the hinge is your butt is moving backward, not down. Your knees are slightly bent. And as a result of your butt and your hips pushing back, your back starts to fold down to the ground. So you're not reaching down and you're not squatting down. The hinge motion is what puts everything in motion. So your hips and butt move to the wall, your back folds, but it is straight. Your shoulders are not rounded. They are nice and straight. When you hit that certain point where you can feel your hamstrings pull, you thrust up. So you squeeze your butt, but you don't overarch it. You just Squeeze and stand up, back down, up, back down, up. So your overhead swings are the same, except instead of your hands finishing in front of you somewhere, you bring them all the way overhead. All the way overhead, all the way overhead. So this one you want to be a little bit more careful with because it's easier to overarch your back when you're going overhead, okay? So when you come in between and then you swing up, it's really easy to do this. The easiest way to stop doing that is to make sure that your butt is squeezed. So if you look at my posture when I'm overarched, I know it's hard because I've got the dark background, but there's a definite dip right here. And you can tell, because my stomach is a little bit forward, my shoulders are a little bit back. If I want to correct that, the easiest thing to do is to squeeze your butt, okay? So when you squeeze and you tuck your hips under, instead of letting them be flared backward, it corrects a lot of that arch, okay? So if you swing and you come up, think about keeping that pelvis forward. So it's open, and then I kind of shut it at the top, okay? That stops me from going like this, because that is what will hurt your back eventually, okay? Palm up, palm down. So this one is like our lateral raise. So lateral means out to the side, except we are combining doing it with your palm up or doing it with your palm down. So your arms for your lateral are going to come out to your side. They are going to be bent. Your arms are going to be bent. This is what my arms look like. Notice that they are not straight out to my side. They are a little bit diagonal in front and they're bent. So I'm going to raise up one way, whichever way, flip in the air, come down, and stay there. 1, raise up, flip in the air, come down. 2, raise up, flip in the air, come down. 3. So you're only flipping in the air. You're not flipping up and down and up and down and up and down. You're only flipping when you're in the air. So that way you do just as many ups with your palm facing down as you do with your palm facing up, okay? So that's why you only rotate when you're in the air. Tricep dips. So as I was trying to explain, if you don't have your height, you can also just try to do it on the ground, but the easiest way is to be off of a bench, off of a couch, off of a chair. So you're going to get on the edge. Your hands, your fingers should be pointing outward toward your body. You're basically leaning on your palms, and you can either straighten your legs, which is harder, or have them bent, which makes it a little bit easier, okay? And you're just gonna sink down, press up, sink down, press up. So you are working the back of your arm, which is your tricep. So when your feet are out, that's more body weight that you are pressing up and down. When you come in with your legs, you're cutting it shorter, so it's not as difficult. You're not pulling up and down or pushing up and down as much of your body weight as if you are stretched. So that goes for almost anything that we do, especially ab related. The farther things are away from your core, the harder it's going to be. The closer they are, the easier. So if we're doing like hollow holds, where normally you're on your back and you're holding like this, your legs out straight are the hardest, tucked up is the easiest. Or if we are doing, when we talk about our heel taps, if you've been with me before, where you teeter on your back and tap your heels, the farther your heels away from your body are, the harder it is, the closer they are, the easier it is. So that's always how you can think about things. Anything away from your core is bigger and harder. Anything closer to your core is smaller and easier. Plank shoulder press. So this one, I don't know why in past programs people have really griped about this one. I like it because I like the stretch of it. If you have bad shoulders, you probably won't like it. I have a weird thing going on. If you've been with me, I always have something going on. It was my knee forever. It was my wrist forever. It was my back forever. Now I've got a thing that almost feels like collarbone-ish, like it kind of goes from my neck to my shoulder. And if I press overhead or reach overhead, it pops. It doesn't hurt, but the sound is like, it doesn't sound good. So doing things that I try to avoid as much as I can making it pop because I don't know what is actually popping. It doesn't hurt, it's not painful, it just sounds gross. So unfortunately, this is one of those exercises that really makes it pop. So you're gonna be in your elbow plank, butt is down, I got something in my eye. You're on your elbows, and all you're gonna do is basically push through your elbows and go up and back. So you're gonna pike up your butt and you're pushing through your, like you're almost trying to push your elbows through the ground, okay? Push, pike up, down. Push and pike up, down. Push and pike up, down, okay? So it's pretty simple. If that is something that you feel like you can't do, you could just substitute it for like shoulder press or something, because that's what it's doing. It's working your shoulders. I don't know, I just got something in my eye randomly. So that's your first part. Your second part is 150 to 300 jumps, okay? So again, if you don't have a real jump rope and you're just pretending, you're going to literally just pretend. So your arms are gonna do little circles and you're gonna jump on your toes, just like you would if you had a real jump rope, okay? So it sounds like a lot of jumps, but it's really not, because you're not gonna trip if you're not using a real jump rope. And it goes by pretty quickly. Like when I was just like testing this out, I was able to do, 150 jumps very, very quickly. This shouldn't take you long at all. It's just a little good cardio burst at the end. So that's all you're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. And you don't have to jump high because there's no rope.